What's going on? You're back with Rej and the Zoo.
What up, baby?
We got a special guest here today. Jerry,
we got
you
a
go ahead and
guest.
introduce
We've
him?
got a new friend. We just picked him up on the corner of the street. He's this guy who's hanging out. No, but this is Erik Westfield, founder, co-founder of Buffalo Go, which we have talked about here on the pod in the past. So Erik and I, we went to high school together. We weren't the best of friends, really, but we really connected. I always kind of looked up to you personally. After school, we kind of like...
We had an interesting intro, I think, to some degree, because we were kind of fighting over a girl in high school.
Somewhat.
Really?
Kind of happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is somewhat of that action.
Yeah, a little mixed up.
We certainly shared the same cookie jar, I guess you could say. I don't know.
So are you guys blood brothers or?
I don't know. But yeah, probably. I guess by now. But
Irish blood.
yeah,
There you go.
that was clear. You know, regardless of any competitive flavor, there is always mutual respect, at least from my angle.
100%.
But yeah, Matt, what do you got going on in your neck of the woods?
Not too much. I was actually just about to ask Erik about being from California,
Yeah.
because I thought that was really cool. I've always wanted to go out there. I
Yeah,
just
I've
feel like
never
the
been out
culture
there either.
Out west is a lot better than on the East Coast.
Yeah, no, I come from an Air Force family, so both of my brothers were born. One was born in Germany and one was in Missouri, and then we landed in California, so...
So my dad was in the Marines.
Okay.
My brother was born in Hawaii. My other brother was born in North Carolina, and then I was born in fucking Olean, New York. The most
You were born
boring
in
place.
Olean, bro?
Yeah. Olean.
I'm going down there tomorrow, literally. I'm going to be down in, like, past there. Well, Hornell. I'm going to be down 86 from there.
We moved when I was, like, less than a year old, I think.
Still, though, that's where, like, my brother was born.
Yeah, it's
ironically.
kind of cool. But like I said, my other brother was born in Hawaii. How fucking awesome is that?
Yeah,
He gets to say
Olean's
that.
definitely
One
not
of
as
those-
cool as that.
Definitely not. It's
But-
like the most
Just
boring
say New
place.
York.
Yeah. It's
Anytime
funny.
you say New York, if you like talk to somebody that's from like out of state, you say, "Oh, I'm from New York," they automatically think New York City.
100%.
Well, you say you're from Buffalo, New York, and they think you're from fucking New York City somehow.
Exactly. And then they call us upstate, not Western New York. We're upstate apparently. So
I met a guy.
that gets annoying.
There was a dude, I was on a cruise one time, and I was down, one of the coolest things I've ever done. I went to Cozumel, Mexico, and this is probably the furthest away I've ever been. Went on this like bus ride out, went to these Mayan ruins. That was the coolest thing I think I've ever done. But the guy that led it was a like full-blooded like Mayan, like official Mayan. He was still like 5 foot, like thick like body. I don't know. He was just different looking, like thick like skeleton. Like he said, like they have like their heads were shaped different.
Cro-Magnon there.
Yeah, shit like that. Literally.
and
he was like, he goes, and I think this is still, I still give myself credit because he's like, "Oh, so you from Buffalo?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Buffalo, New York." He's like, "Oh, New York, you like the rap music?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I fuck with rap." Like, he's like, "You like Busta Rhymes?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I like Busta Rhymes." I'm like, "Why? Is everybody still like, is that what people tell you?" He's like, "Yeah, that's who everybody says is the best." I'm like, "You got to start listening to some Kanye West, bro." This was like 2012 too. This was like
Busta Rhymes, what?
the coldest winter with Lil Wayne, that era.
Okay.
So yeah, 808 and Heartbreak had just come out.
Oh, yeah, that was just...
Are you guys gonna vote for Kanye?
I mean, I probably would.
I know you will.
I'm the wrong guy to ask though.
Definitely know you will.
But yeah, we figured we'd have Erik on because we've never actually had a guest on before. And it's something that we've always wanted to do. Never really knew how to get someone on or who would be. But a lot of the things we've been talking about on here have sort of just started to, I don't know, manifest themselves and they feel good. So I've been watching your brand over the last, I don't know, 2-3 years, I would say, kind of go from something that looked like interesting, like, let's see where this kid goes with it, to like, damn, he's really making some moves, to like, is that Stevie fucking Johnson? So like, I wanted to hear a little bit, obviously, about, you know, where, obviously you come from the West Coast. I know Stevie did, but where did before we get to that, where did the idea behind Buffalo go? Some of the influences and inspiration behind that, like what kind of was the inception of that?
Yeah, so I mean, I've always been a super creative kind of outlier type of kid. I mean, I've worked several different jobs since I've graduated high school, college. Graduated college, real estate. I was in the post office. I was working as a golf professional. Recently, I was in a sales job. None of them that I really wholeheartedly liked, and that didn't allow me to be kind of who I am, be creative, just kind of manifest a lot of these ideas that I'm working with on a daily basis, and so I always knew I needed some other outlet, and I've dabbled in some other different business ventures, but nothing kind of quite like this. But I also knew that I needed somebody to do the things that are very important in this day and age to actually start a business that I can't personally do myself. And that person has always been my good friend, Robbie Grabowski, who obviously, we all went to Maryville together.
Yeah.
Which is funny because Robbie was actually one of my first friends as soon as I moved here from California. I think 7th and 8th grade, we were doing like crazy shit, like shit that we're doing now. We were doing like jackass stuff. We would take video cameras everywhere.
Dude, that's
we're that generation.
Okay,
So we even talked about that before on our last podcast. We talked
a lot about
jackass
that.
videos and stuff. And always
he specifically has said jackass videos.
Yeah. No, so we would.
I've got some good productions too.
We'd go out and do
good 12 to 14-year-old ones.
I remember, we were doing like. Plus, we were always in this a ton of different sports. So we would do skate videos, snowboard videos.
Yeah, see, I was stuck in the ball sports.
Yeah,
like,
true.
Dude, I always respected you because, like, you fucking killed individual sport. Like, you didn't do tennis, but you fucking crushed bowling and golf. Like, you were king in, like, 8th grade.
Golf, I didn't start actually playing until later. Like,
really?
I mean, we might go out and fuck around on, like, a weekend or something like that in high school, but by no means, I actually didn't pick up golf until, like, sometime in college.
Really?
Yeah.
And
your swing is pure as fuck, bro. You look like you're a pro.
Just a natural then.
Put in some of the time. But yeah, it definitely got some good genes. My dad will tell you that. For sure. But no, dude, seriously. So we play like so many different sports, and it's like, yeah, people be like, I don't understand, like, why would you ever play that sport, and why are you good at it? Like, so like bowling, so fucking random. Because I played ball sports all up until like I started bowling. And that was just random. Like basketball was my whole life.
Oh yeah,
forever.
we have balled too,
Yeah.
and like
even not
it's
playing,
clear.
Not even playing in like a structured league or anything like that. I mean, I've played in a couple here and there. I mean, I'll still average 15 a game, like easy.
Yeah.
So I could only imagine, like, and to be honest with you, he knows me as a bowler in high school, but he probably doesn't understand that I didn't even though I was the best in like the state, maybe even the states. In general, in bowling,
in your age limit, or your age group.
In my age group, yeah. So like I'm in the Hall of Fame at Maryville for bowling.
Holy shit!
I was the youngest to ever be inducted into the Hall of Fame in Maryville.
Weren't you in 8th grade and in the state, like 9th grade maybe,
or something like that? Something crazy.
I feel like, dude,
No, I made varsity in 7th grade.
Yeah,
That's legit.
Yeah, and then we won states when I was a freshman.
You were
my brother was a senior.
Yeah.
What was your guys? Did you guys have like a home bowling alley that was like your guys'
Airport
bowling alley?
lanes,
Airport.
Yeah. And so that year, everything built up to the year my brother was a senior and I was a freshman. So we were on the team together.
That's fucking dope, dude.
Yeah.
How many brothers do you have?
2.
How old are they?
35 and 38. So we're all 3 years apart.
That's
legit.
dope.
Yeah. So, but that was a crazy year because obviously we were so tight. Everything built up to that year. It was 2003. 2003. Yeah. And we won states by a fucking landslide. Like,
You guys
nobody's ever gonna touch the record.
zoomed it.
That's awesome.
Like for anybody that's listening or who will hear this,
Yes.
polls, for a 6-game block, 5-man teams, 6-game block, we shot 1,000 over, which comes out to be something like 231 a man
That's crazy.
for our whole team.
Especially at your age.
At
too.
our
That's
age, yeah,
super
19,
impressive.
Yeah, exactly. High school, it's not like crazy.
That's like
I wasn't over.
That's like my best game ever. I'm pretty decent at bowling. I was in a couple leagues growing up.
Yeah.
But that's cool that you play golf too, and that you were a golf professional.
Yeah, golf.
How'd you be?
Yeah.
We're anywhere around here?
Yeah,
Like
so
close by?
I started golfing a lot in college. And anybody who gets into any sport, especially golf, you need to put your time into that sport. Like you actually have to invest like your own time. I'd go out and play 36 holes in a day by myself.
You have to.
That sounds fun as fuck, though.
You have to want to get better at that and make yourself.
It became like an addiction. So I got to a point, but it was super random. What actually really forced me to get into golf was the birth of our first kid, Braden. He was an accident, and at the time, I just moved back home to be with my wife from Tampa. I was in Tampa for a year, and as soon as I moved home, we had Braden, and I didn't have a career, so to speak. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Yeah. So I was just working in the bag room at the Country Club of Buffalo, and so I'm like, well, I need to turn this into a career somehow, some way. So I went from bag room to starter. I took a player's ability test, which you had to do. I don't know if that's still a thing now. It was like a prerequisite to become like a teaching professional. And when I say a golf professional, obviously I don't mean like going out on the PGA Tour.
No, yeah, I learned.
Where you work at a country club and you're like certified to give lessons and run a course. That's basically legit. Yeah. So I went and played this player's ability test where you had to shoot like it was 18 holes in the morning, 18 in the afternoon. You had to shoot like 155, which is like a couple 77s really. So I went out 79. I came back because I finished like bogey, and 79 is still respectable, but I was fucking hurting. So we had like a little lunch break. I went to the bar, ripped a couple shots of Jameson, and went out and shot 200 on the front.
That's killer. Yeah. That is killer.
Crazy, yo. And I was like, so then I had some cushion, and I ended up making it by like a couple strokes. So that literally passing that like forced my hand and my club pro's hand to be like, shit, nobody passes their PAT on their first try. Even people who've golfed since they were 3 years old. Like, nobody just does that. There's a lot of pressure to that.
That's legit.
And so, so I literally like passed it, and I was like, all right, well, now I'm doing this.
What's par over there?
At CCB?
Yeah.
It wasn't at CCB. It was at Gowanda, but par's at, I think par was 70, 71, something like that.
We're at Gowanda?
At Gowanda. Probably, 71 or 72.
That's really good.
Standard, yeah.
That's killer.
But, so that's how I got into golf. Like, that was the whole golf segment, and that was my life for 4 years.
Well, it definitely had an influence. Sorry, I didn't mean to overtalk you.
Yeah.
It definitely had an influence on your kid because your kid's got the smoothest fucking Tiger Woods stroke I've ever seen on a child.
You were telling me that, like,
this
kid can play golf.
Dude, he was he was like 2 years old, and you were heading him out like I don't know. He was tiny.
Yeah, like,
he looked like Chucky.
It was like it was in the blood or something. But he literally hit a ball with like a plastic toy set at like 1.5. And like held his form with like the foot up and everything.
Keeping this arm straight and stuff.
What the fuck, dude?
Dude, I remember, I don't know. I was like at work one day and you had shared that a couple years back. And I was like, dude, your son, that's like prodigy level. Like that shit's crazy. What sports is he doing now? What's he doing now? How old is he?
He's 7, just turned 7 in April. So
nice.
He is, now his kick is hockey and baseball.
That's cool.
Hockey. He thinks hockey. Like, hockey's like the latest kick. It was like, we had him in some ice skating, but now he like actually played some ice hockey.
Yeah.
He's obsessed with it, even though like he just doesn't understand. Like, it kills me inside because you never want to join a sport where you're starting from behind. Yeah, well, I'll give him any sport he wants to play. But like at golf right now, he's head above everybody.
Right.
So stay there.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So now baseball has destroyed his golf swing.
Oh, no.
But like in terms, like somebody who knows golf like I do.
Right.
Like, he's like
cranking it.
Yeah.
He's not feeling the flow anymore.
Like,
that's a sad story.
No,
but he'll
but
probably.
He still has it. So
it ain't going nowhere.
We had a family party over the weekend, and we had a chipping net out, and we were chipping shots over the pool. Some of the adults. Braden took an adult club, came in, and chips 2 in the net. Like,
oh my God.
Freak stuff.
See, that like makes me so mad because I would love to be able to do that like right off the get go.
I'm an adult and I can't do that.
And when I go golfing, I'll do the front 9, play like shit, and then when I get to the back 9, I start, I'm like warmed up and everything, and I'm good to go.
Plus, you had a couple beers, probably a couple of vapes.
Yeah, definitely a couple of vapes for sure. What's your favorite course around here?
That's actually a really good question.
Let me ask you this. What do you think of Hickory Sticks?
Hickory Sticks is a good course. I worked there for a little bit.
I love that course.
As soon as I moved home, like I was telling you, I was working in the bag room. I worked at Hickory Stick. I lined up a job from Tampa to come back to have a job at Hickory. And then I was like, that's a bit of a commute. If I can get in at CCB, like a prominent country club, I'm like, I'm going to weasel my way in there. That's another thing, dude. Like, we'll get into that, but like, I have no right being a teaching pro at a country club. That's great, though. But I'm like a fucking chameleon. Like, so like, it's
just slide in.
Wild, dude.
That's legit. What about Burncliffe? You ever play there?
Burncliffe's awesome, yeah.
That's like the hardest course
I
for me.
played a bunch of times there, yeah.
I lose at least 6-7 balls there every time I go. and it's like, it's straight on the fairway, but then I can't find it. I'm like, where? I saw it land straight on the fairway, but somehow I lose it. But that's like one of my favorite courses. I think that won last year or the year before. It won like best course in the area, I think.
They're dope. It's dope. It's a bit of a drive. Ironwood is right across the street, which is also a really good
Ironwood's
course.
nice.
Low-key good course, yeah.
Arrowhead's kind of nice. I went there a couple times.
There's really not many courses like within 100 miles that I would go.
I'm trying to think of the one that's in Amherst. I can't fucking think of it.
Glen Oak,
yeah. That's a nice one, like a nice quick one if you want to go. I used to go do just 9 holes there at like 7 o'clock at night, get through in 2 hours before the sun went down in the summer. That's a nice quick one. That's an easy course too.
I'm golfing tomorrow for the first time in like 10 years, and I'm kind of excited, but I'm kind of not.
What course are you going to?
Way out in like Hornell. I got some family out there. It's actually my cousin that I had to block on Facebook during the riots because he was arguing with people that I knew on Facebook. And I'm like, it's like kind of like familial. Like, it's like you gotta like, but it's him. I'm going to a stag tomorrow. I haven't even talked to him, but no, it's going to be fine. Like, we're cool. It was really just like, dude, stop. Like, you're making me look bad at this point. Like,
yeah, dude, I don't know. I'm probably not the best to talk to about like all the stuff.
No, I don't want to go down that road, but you asked. He's the guy I'm going to his stag. But my other cousins will be there. I'm riding down with my older brother, and he has his first kid who's only 1. So, well, about to be 1 actually this month. So like he and I are gonna take a ride down, and I haven't really kicked it with him like one-on-one in a while. So that'll be pretty cool. You were down in Tampa. I went for a ride, so to speak, in Ybor City. Yeah, I got to go down a couple 2 years ago with my 2 parents. They went down for racing, and I got to kick it.
You got lost in Ybor.
Oh yeah, dude. So
real easy.
Oh yeah, it was fucking dope down there. Did you spend a lot of time down there?
I've been to Ybor quite a few times. Yeah.
Oh my god.
A lot of people don't know that's like some old Colombian shit down there.
Yeah. It was, I don't know if you've ever heard of it was Ybor City in Tampa, Florida.
Yeah.
It was one of the coolest places I've ever been.
My brother lives there. He's lived there for the last decade or so.
He stays down there? That's fucking cool.
No, yeah, he's in real estate. He has his own real estate company down there. And he low-key rakes. Yeah. And Ybor is like one of his favorite spots whenever he gets a chance to kick it.
There's like roosters everywhere.
I'll go there and like just get like a hand-cut Colombian cigar and like some straight up Colombian rum and just kick it for like a couple hours.
I went down at like 2 p.m., had my fun, went in some shops, did some thrifting. They had the best thrift stores I've ever seen, like apparel, like men's apparel, crazy shit, just crazy old shit. And then roosters everywhere. I don't know why, just a lot of roosters in that surrounding area.
Doesn't surprise me.
That's all I could remember. And then I went back to the hotel, and then I actually went back down all night and spent the whole night down there. Then I really got lost.
Yeah. That fly's been in here for about 4 weeks too, by the way.
Yeah, it's a ferry.
It's like it won't fucking leave. I swatted at it a couple times already.
So, getting back to it.
So Inception. So Robbie and I were like, I reached out to Robbie. I mean, we always talked like over the last couple of years about like collab, and we just, I got a family. I'm just, I'm tied up with shit that I don't want to do.
You think you can't do it because you think like, but I got to do this.
So finally, it was just like, it's crazy. Nothing really snapped. It was like we were talking about doing something. He had just on his own. Football season was approaching, so it wasn't approaching. It was like we actually started last April. So it's just over a year.
No.
Yeah.
Since Buffalo Go?
Yeah.
Inception?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
The
first Conehead. The first Conehead.
That we were doing that. We were mocking that up.
Was that the first one?
No, the first shirt was actually the one I'm wearing now. So
We'll show the camera. What is that one right there?
So it's a tribute to Nipsey, who obviously got shot and killed in March, and we just started talking about this right around that time. Actually, no, it was just after, but just the whole death of him in general. Like I said, I've always, like being from California, I've always been really close with West Coast hip hop, so I was obviously a big fan. But just hip hop deaths in general, like Mac Miller, that shit shook me for a minute.
Dude, you've always reminded me so much of Mac Miller. I'm sure I'm not the first person to tell you.
No, not at all. But yeah, so like that shook me, and like it's just so like so much is life. You get so twisted in all these things that you think like that matter, but you could be gone today. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not to get like philosophical.
No, that's
it's just like so true. Like even now, like I just quit my full-time job. I'm happier than I've ever been. My family unit is cohesive. Like we're so vibing. We're building this brand. I'm networking. Like life couldn't be better. But I could walk out of here and fucking get hit by a bus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
right.
So anyways, I say that to say
that's kind of like
Nipsey was on top of the world. He broke his ass for the last 15, 20 years. He was just getting to a point where he was making moves that nobody was doing on the low, like underground shit, like Gary V, like, you know, befriending people like Gary V, like doing crazy shit, getting in, like revamping his whole hood.
Leading with love.
Grammy nomination, and he shot and killed. So like that changed my whole, like, I don't want to say changed my whole mindset, but that fucked me up and was like, damn. And then so we started talking about this. I started getting into Gary V. I mean, obviously, I could list 5-10 people right now who literally changed their whole lives because of Gary V. Like, literally just took everything that he talks about, content-wise, and just put it to use. And literally built their own brand, like immediately. Like Buffalo Bros Burgers. Are you familiar with them?
I don't think so.
Okay, so they're like a smash burger joint. They reached out to us. They got so many stories about Buffalo and stuff. But I reached out to him. Corey Royal is the owner of Buffalo Bros Burgers. He started doing smash burgers, which really isn't a big thing like around here. Not that I know of. A smash burger literally is like where you like take like a mallet or whatever and like smash the burger on the grill, and it creates like a small little layered burger that you like layer them, and you can make like double, triples and shit like that. And
I've never had one. That sounds fucking awesome
so
though.
Good.
Smash burger.
Smash burgers, yeah. They're so good. So he literally started one of those and was just doing it like pop-up tents and shit like that, and started just doing all the things that following the Gary V guidelines, making content
That's
about
interesting.
it, doing giveaways. And I mean, this is all the shit this is how I started Buffalo, doing all the same shit, giving shit away for free, bringing influencers in, doing collabs, like all just to build brand. Like even if it cost me a penny, like doesn't matter. Like you ain't gonna make a buck on your company for years. You need to understand it's long game. Like it's shit ain't gonna happen for a while.
At least 2-3 years, right?
Shit ain't gonna happen for a while. Anyways, so he did all this, and literally he just quit his full-time job, like I just did. Like, you know, you just quit a side gig. Like mad people are doing this, and he's tapped in. And he's fucking raking right now. He's fucking living the dream.
Yeah,
you know. And we just designed we're designing he just bought a food trailer. He's upgraded to a food trailer that he's gonna pull behind his truck, pop up, cook everything. Like it's dope, and we're designing the whole wrap for the food trailer.
Nice, dude. Yeah. That's freaking awesome.
And some shirts to go with it. The shirt says little preview, trying to smash.
Yes.
That's awesome. For smash burgers, trying to smash. Now that's a Tryna, China?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Sure, yeah.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell us a little bit more about some of the first designs. I remember the Conehead. Matt, if you want to pull up his Instagram for yourself, I don't know. I know Matt probably did a little homework, but I remember the Conehead was like the first one.
Yeah, so this...
Who is famous? Anyone outside of Buffalo?
So we did this one. This was actually more of a personal thing for Nipsey, and then obviously this pays homage to... This is the same thing he used for Crenshaw.
Right.
Same type of cursive. But Chippewa, Crenshaw Chippewa is almost it's a very similar word.
Yeah.
I don't even know. It might have the same number of letters in it. So I thought it would be like a dope thing, but tough for some people to understand, like on the same wave that I'm trying to like flip it.
Yeah.
So, but it was still like a dope thing for me. But as far as, yeah.
That one looks,
But as far as like a Buffalo design, first one we did was Conehead. So I literally took I took a picture of Braden and Conehead at a game together, and Conehead had this crazy mean mug for no reason. Like, you're taking a picture of my kid. Like, what, you can't even smile with a kid? Like, It was wild.
You caught him on the wrong
caught him
day.
on a bad day.
Caught him on a hangover.
Yeah, hungover.
Fucking had a hemorrhoid that day.
So literally, like
Popcorn, peanuts. Who needs a beer?
legendary. We're like friends now.
Yeah, well, that's how it was like so amazing. Is he really did look like he was fucking having a hemorrhoid filled day, and then like you made it into a shirt, and then it was like you gave him the love back though. You fucking you like literally stamped him. And no one had ever done that for that fucking guy. How many people know who Conehead is? Yeah. How many people have seen that guy? How many people have like talked about that guy? Oh yeah, Conehead. But you literally took him and you fucking actually put him into the universe, into the Matrix. And I think that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, no, I remember the first time I went to a game and I brought some shirts and
you just walked in with him?
I walked in with some shirts. Yeah, I was wearing one. I brought a couple.
Snuck in.
For Conehead.
Are you allowed to even do that, or do they even give a fuck at the Bisons because they need they need anybody there? They're like, no, come, please. We'll actually pay you to come.
No, I literally went a handful of times last season with a backpack and literally just sold shirts to people.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, but I would wear it.
Where'd you get that shirt?
Exactly. So I would wear the shirt, and I wasn't like corny about it. Like if somebody like actually like said something like that, like, yo, where'd you get that shirt? Like, oh, I made it. I actually have some on me. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
Like just like lead right into the sale.
Stare them right in their soul. Stare them right down the barrel and just be like, I actually have some on me right now. But only if they're worthy. Only if they really deserve to wear it.
No, but I gotta say that Robbie actually probably was what started us on the path of doing like the Buffalo themed t-shirts, because at the time he had just made on his own time. Robbie lived in New York City for 3 years. Okay, because I wondered where he was, because then I saw him with you, and I was like, I feel like I haven't seen this kid in a while. He was in New York City for 3 years working, running the marketing department for Estee Lauder.
That's fucking sick. Where did he go to? Did he go to school around here?
Yeah, he went to UB.
Huh.
Yeah.
I never really knew Robbie that well. I know Maddie actually was close with him, I feel like, because I think they might have had a band together or something.
They did, yeah.
I feel like Maddie was always talking about him, but I never really like got to like hook up with him like as a friend or anything. But he always seemed mad chill and like the nicest kid.
Oh, for sure. So nice. He's too nice. We joke that he's good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
Like pinky brain type.
That's okay. You need that, dude. You can't like not have the fire to survive. Like if you didn't have it at all, but you need that. You need that gushy love too, though. Like
we joke about it all the time. We've had plenty of run-ins with each other, but everybody's got to have those growing pains. You know, when you start a business together, especially a partnership. You know what I mean? So like, we just found out really quick that we're really different humans. Like, we've always been friends, but you don't really know.
Right.
You don't know them that well.
No, not until you move in with them, yo. Exactly. That's like, I've had friends, once you move in with your friend, they ain't your friend no more. You lived with them. Like, they're now the person you lived with once, and then you're like, he's fine. You're like, they're fine. But going into business together is a little bit different than living together.
100%. So he naturally is more of a quiet introvert. He is, for us, he is kind of more of like behind the scenes. But he, like I said, I got into this with him because I still don't even know how to actually speak about how good he is at what he does and what he's capable of doing. But I'll tell you that to me, he represents like the top 1% of humans on Earth who can tap into a computer in the manner that he does.
Yeah.
So there's literally nothing that he can't do. He's taught himself how to do everything.
Well, he wouldn't be going into this venture on his own if he didn't have the confidence.
And he's already built businesses already.
He's done probably thousands, hundreds of websites. So he
specializes in like WordPress. So he built a business called Modern Themes, which he sells WordPress templates. Okay. And literally that's was a way for him to live in Buffalo very comfortably.
Yeah, that's really cool.
He's worked for himself for a minute. So he's teaching me a lot. I provide the value for our relationship because I'm out there going out and just throwing my neck anywhere and everywhere, just networking. And that's like, just coming here. Like this is something that naturally he wouldn't be interested in at all. I could do this all day long. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
That's a perfect partnership though. You can't ask for like, that's like yin and yang, fucking black and white. 100%. Like you need that because it's like, if you don't have one or the other, or you have one of each, it's almost, I mean, we've found, Matt and I don't want to say like the same thing. I wouldn't compare Robbie to you, but in our own way, I would say like, we are different in this kind of production and like show planning. Like I'm kind of like chefing up the like, you know, what we're thinking about doing and going through like mentally. And I know that he's always going to be prepared off that.
Actually put it.
And then, like I said, like the production side of things, like you said, like I think admitting that too. And I think like being transparent and honest and admitting like, I don't like you do like,
100%.
Like it's that simple. And I think I played quarterback. So I always kind of like, I've had a lot of experience with a lot of different types of minds. And like a lot of those times, those people are either protecting me or I need them to catch the fucking rock or I need them to get that fucking first down. So like as a leader, like personally, I like to work with a lot of different types of people, but then also sometimes I can come across too like passionate because of my psycho football background. Like I get excited and I kind of have to reel back sometimes. But then, you know, some of the most like best relationships I've had with people are the ones that can see through that and see that I actually just give a fuck. And I think that's a big part of it too. And like Matt, like working with you has been awesome because you just like bring the positivity every day. Like I haven't seen you really get negative yet.
I got close a couple times recently.
Yeah.
But, I mean, with you and your partner, do you guys find yourself pushing each other when the other one's kind of not like slacking, but like kind of pick you back up to like keep pushing you and stuff?
100% now, absolutely. And there was a breaking point. He moved home from New York City to essentially take this on full time. So when he came back, he had just moved into his grandma's house. His grandma sold him the house, which is perfect because the house was a perfect starting point for us to throw all of our equipment in.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Your
HQ,
HQ,
home base. So that's
killer.
That right now, we're working out of his house. Like everything's at his house. All of our equipment, printing equipment, and continually been able to just work from there. But he was hesitant at first. I mean, you got to understand. He just left New York City. A hefty 6-figure salary to come back to Buffalo to nothing.
Do a startup.
A startup.
That's crazy.
And while I'm trying to, I'm still fucking putting in 40, 50 hours into a job and not able to really give a ton into this.
Yeah.
Even though I've gotten it to this point through social media and things of that nature. But, it's like, I could only imagine what he was thinking. Like, fuck, dude. Like, so there was a time there. And then additionally, I don't think he really wanted to get into, dude, we could take this so many ways. Because, like, we started off by just doing the T-shirts.
Right.
Like, it was just the T-shirts. Like, we had some cool T-shirts. People, like, want to buy fun Buffalo T-shirts. There's a ton of companies like that locally.
Right.
26, like, But I knew we needed to do more than that.
Yeah.
And knowing what he's capable of, I don't want to go out and just sell T-shirts. I want to sell shit that's going to make fucking money, like, for real.
Yeah.
Like fucking, like, websites. So he was very hesitant to get back into building websites for probably a bunch of reasons. One reason I know in particular is that he's better when he's just kind of given the information to go with and create and build as opposed to extracting it. He doesn't, again, he's more of an introvert.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to sit and talk with you all day long.
Right.
He doesn't want to have that communication. That's where I come in. I do all of that. I literally am the middleman between anything that we do with a client and Robbie. And then Robbie puts it together.
So you're the guy that, everybody would come talk to?
Yeah. So, like, Robbie he's like a made man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like back protected in like the panic room. Like, you got to protect that asset. We should not even be saying his name no more, bro.
He would laugh at this. He probably he would think that we're so stupid to even be talking like this, but that's how he is. Like,
right.
It is what it is.
Well, you got something good if he left a 6-figure job, to do something like
100%,
this.
Yeah,
that's when you know you got something.
And he's never given me props, but I know, like, deep down.
Well, that's kind of like
that I bring a lot to the table.
He doesn't want to float your ego. He's got to keep you in check, bro.
100%. Because I could probably get into my own ego for sure, and I've learned to become a much more like humble person, and because I literally, like, I've always known I've been capable of, like, building something, and by no means are we anywhere now, but
the freedom.
I've already done it, like,
yeah.
So, like, I would be stupid to think that I'm, like, doing something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm just learning.
Yeah.
So I'm
But in a way, to have a fucking one of your best old boys be almost like a mentor, like you can't write that. Like that's just like good fortune. And I'm
smart for letting him become a mentor for me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's that kind of, you have to give in to your weaknesses and in order to grow. You can't grow without at least admitting I need to, like, that freedom of creativity is a huge reason why I stay with my boss, Mike, and Matt and us. Yeah. We work together, obviously, but like we are kind of, like I said, I was inspired by what you started doing, and I knew that you were. I mean, like I said to you today, like I don't have fucking kids, bro. Like I don't even know what that life would be like. That's like to understand that you're doing that. You had the 40-hour, you had kids, and then you were like, fuck it, I still want more. Yeah. That to me, I think really shows that like, and this is nothing against your family, but it shows like that personal quest is something that you have to keep quenching. Like all the love from, like, at least personally, if I don't have something that I'm working toward, I could have everything I want and I still won't be happy if I'm not working towards something. Yeah, for sure. And for like me, dude, like after football, I put all my eggs in that basket. Like I had to quit after I was 18 and I had to quit because of concussions and shit. Yeah. So like I held a lot of like resentment, but like Mike, my boss, he gave me the opportunity. Like I literally, like I was at the stage where I was just doing like 6 shifts a week at Olive Garden, fucking partying my ass off, living the dream, had my degree, did all the shit that everybody always wanted me to do. And like I was like having a good time. Don't get me wrong. I have no regrets.
We had probably too much.
Yeah. But it wasn't until I literally like started just like writing, and I'm a big believer in like if you write it down, like it goes into the matrix. And there's actually a really cool video I want to show you after this, or at least send it to you after. But anyways, I've showed you the writing down video, that Don DePani Indian dude. That shit's crazy. But anyways, just like I had written down, like I'm going to find someone who is going to respect me for who I am, who's going to like give me the opportunity to lead, who's going to like not try to change me. And I said like maybe production, maybe video. And I put it out there. I wrote it down. I have a million of these little books. And then like, dude found me. And like when I saw his brand, I had never seen it. It's a small brand, but he's the one who kind of like brought me up to like, I mean, I've grown up so much just from seeing some of the things that he's endured. Because when I walked in here like 5 years ago, he had already been doing shit for 10 years. Yeah. And the fact that 10 years before that, was a fucking server at fucking Smoky Bones, and his manager was the same manager that hired me at Olive Garden. Yeah, right. That's just like, you can't write that shit. No. So I stick by him because like he admits his faults. I admit my faults. We've had our outs similarly. Like we've definitely had some like somewhat battles. We've always respected each other enough, and we're both like psychos to where we're not gonna like fist fight each other. Like we're like the type of people where like if you piss us off, you really piss us off. So we both have a pretty good fuse, but like you get that kind of back and forth, and you get trapped in that like almost like friendship where you don't want to say it, but then your business, so you know you need to say it, and that gets difficult.
We're still somewhat kind of in that. We've broke that threshold, but like the last 6 to 8 months, we've definitely had those times. Like, I mean, I would come over and it would already be uneasy. We haven't even said a word to each other yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, I hate that. Like,
and that's communication, dude.
I can't deal with that type of shit. Silence. You know what I mean? But like, again, we're fucking totally different human beings. Like,
right.
You know, we don't even listen to the same music. Like, you know, like even something as simple as that. Like, he can't even listen to rap. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
It's as random as that is, but like, I don't listen to like the shit he listens to. You don't listen to shit I listen to. Like, so many different things. But we definitely come together in sport and now in business. We're both really competitive. And Robbie's a phenomenal athlete as well. He's good at everything.
Yeah.
So we're really competitive in that way. But to answer your question, like now up to speed, we're totally pushing each other. Like right now, he's printing shirts out. Like he'll be printing shirts all night for jobs that I just sold. Like he doesn't want it. He's not going to get behind. He's doing all the fulfillment now.
That's good.
Just to like get brought up to speed real quick. So we started off with doing t-shirts. Obviously, I knew we could do a lot more than that. We're still finding out really what exactly we're capable of doing. But so we're still in this kind of pivot. But right now we're doing our own apparel, so shit that we sell in our own store, online store. We're doing apparel for other people, so like bars and restaurants and hole in the walls and what have you, as well as some bigger companies. We are doing websites. Robbie's done like 2 or 3 websites locally. QC Audio? QA Audio?
Not sure.
They're a local recording studio.
Okay.
QC Audio, I think yeah. A couple other people, but the one we're about to finish now, which is kind of on the low, but it's about to come out, is the build for Seneca One downtown.
Oh, that's killer.
Nice.
So that was like our first
Good for you, man.
legit grab.
That's awesome.
And actually, who plugged us on that? Who's plugged us a couple times in the last 6 months on big projects is Brett Michael from Oxford Penn.
Dude, yeah, Brett is somebody that I've seen that motherfucker pop up in more places, and he's always been an awesome dude. He was always real nice to me. Like, like the older dudes in school that you just knew they were a good guy because, like, they were always respectful and, like, they were always nice. And, like, he was such a great guy. And Evan was in my class. His younger brother, Evan Michael, was in my class. He was in my basement once for a 7th grade, or like a nice 7-year-old birthday party. I'll have to, next time I see, like, Brett or Evan, I was just talking about that because my girl asked me about, like, my parents' basement in Cheektowaga. And she's like, well, did you guys have, like, a finished basement? And I'm like, there was a minute where it was kind of finished. Yeah. Like, we had, like, a foosball. I had a birthday party, and fucking Evan was there. But Brett Michael, I just saw him doing videos and producing podcasts for Eric Hennings, the kid I was talking to, Skate Cobain, Local Legends podcast.
He's always like, so the connector there.
And he did Oxford Pennant, right?
Robbie is a super talented musician. He was in a bunch of local bands.
Yeah.
And so him and Brett have known each other in that regard. And then also, obviously, we all went to Maryville. So with Robbie coming back into town, whether he knew it or not, he had to have known it. He threw our name in the hat because he knew we had just started Buffalo Go and we were offering obviously web design.
Yeah.
I assumed that he knew that. So he threw our name to Sean Heidegger. I don't know if you know who he is. Super cool dude. He's our contact at Seneca One. And Sean reached out to us and got the ball rolling. And it was funny because Robbie, again, he's always been building websites. He's worked for companies. He's the original co-founder of Mr. Smith. I don't know if you know that.
Dude, I know. All right, yeah. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that, but I respect their work. I've seen some of their work.
So he was a co-founder of Mr. Smith. And then, I don't know the full story there.
Right.
By any means, but obviously.
That was in Buffalo before he went out?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So like I said, he's been tapped in. He's been doing this a minute. But I don't think to the extent that we're kind of doing it now. Like, not only is it ours, but now I'm kind of the person to go out and get a sale and get a number. He doesn't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's always been, I don't want to say taken advantage of. I'll say that now because he's my boy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But taking advantage in that aspect where he's building sites for these retainers, hundreds of thousands of dollars in sites. And
right.
What is he getting for it? A small salary.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's game over. That's our money now. Baby.
Right. Well, that's cool. That's that fire that he obviously came back for, or else he would be still doing that out there.
That's what I was saying. He's unsure of that, but now with this, I mean, I'm not going to get any numbers, but this was a pretty cool number that they threw us.
Yeah, it has some validity to it too. It's a legitimate project.
Yeah, or that we threw them and that they gladly
accepted.
We've been lowballing for a minute because that's been my strategy for entry. And it still is.
Yeah.
I'm still giving shit away for free and giving it away at cost or just above cost. More so like obviously shirts and shit of that nature, but
there's certainly various levels.
People are gonna come back. I'm selling myself.
Yeah,
that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do.
Like once that's established, then we can talk about like a real price that benefits me because now you know me.
Yeah, well, that's really interesting to know that not only is.
I want to clip that one, by the way. Make sure we clip
Yeah, write that down.
We'll clip that.
I'm going to have, someday in my life, I'm going to have a small man that's going to write shit down for me. That's been my goal since I was like 12 years old. Just a little tiny person to write me down. Because he's got to be small, and I want him to be almost like an action figure size, like an alien size. But I'll find him. He's gonna
out
be
there somewhere.
The fucking carny somewhere. I'm going to save that little motherfucker. He's going to be my write down man.
Yeah.
That's really cool, though. I wore this today because this is your direct competition. Amazing. And I needed to. This is a bar stool. No.
Okay.
No. I'm not talking Buffalo, bro. Okay. I'm talking Portnoy.
Yeah. And you know what happened with that, right?
So I had at least teased him on the story, but I needed you to tell the story of the Portnoy experiment because I've got the hat on. He was kind enough to bring in a hat for Matt as well. This was the first item I purchased from Buffalo because I just thought it was neat because it's got the All America City. Like, that's such a weird, stupid thing in Buffalo.
Yeah,
like, you always see it, and it's like, why is it not American?
Yeah. All
American City.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, dude, that's fucking sick. So I got the hat. But tell Matt a little bit about the story, because I know I'm pretty familiar. We were chatting a little bit when it was going down, but tell Matt about the story.
One of the first things we designed, in addition to like the local legend, was one of the first ideas we had. I wanted to do something that was like a parody that would get like attention, and so I thought was last spring the Roger Goodell clown tee was still kind of a thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Barstool is obviously super popular. Like, there's just so much traffic in that regard.
Yeah, there is.
Around those two, NFL, Barstool. So I thought for people locally, what if we put Brady? Not only is it like a slap to Barstool, and like anyone who's a Boston loving fan.
Because Portnoy's major New England, right?
Oh, 100%.
He's a Boston guy, right?
Yeah. It's like fucking diehard followers. And obviously, like Bill's, Pats is like, we've been tortured for so long. So I knew it would be.
It would stick out, and everybody would notice it.
Stick out. So
but we didn't know he was fucking coming here. Did you know he was going to be here?
I'm not there. I'm just.
Yeah.
No, so it was like a perfect storm. So everything's a perfect storm once you start actually doing it.
When you put the love into it, and you got. I mean, I don't want to get too preachy, but I'm a God guy. I love God. God is like the fucking answer.
You start doing. You think things.
You trust it.
You think things are happening as signs. They're not really. They're not signs. They're happening because you're doing them.
Yeah.
You've changed your mindset to like think that now you're just noticing that this shit's happening because you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think that in the same regard, if they're bad things, and then you wonder why the bad signs are happening, but it's like because you're doing bad things, you're channeling that.
Yeah, we jump off a lot.
Yeah, well, that's why we can do whatever we want here.
That's what happens on the cast.
That's why we can do whatever the fuck we want.
We did the Brady. We pulled in Robbie's. Robbie was still in New York City. We pulled in one of his friends. She did the artwork we picked just a headshot of Brady and did the clown and everything like that. So we had it. We were sitting on it. We did koozies first, and then we printed shirts. And just so happened to be that last year we started off 3-0. Pat started off 3-0, and Game 4 was in Buffalo. There was so much buzz. You remember?
There was.
So much buzz. And then Portnoy was doing, his pizza thing was really popular then. He was talking about coming to Buffalo. People in Buffalo were like.
Because we do have the fucking best pizza in the fucking country.
People were like egging, like it was like, they were like egging him to come to Buffalo. So once we found out like through Twitter that he was coming to Buffalo, I had befriended Zach from Trainwreck Sports. Those guys.
Dude, those guys. Shout out to them. Yeah. They do some very interesting work. Yeah. There was another one that really inspired me to start doing this sort of thing because you see a couple of young guys with no fear and they have the juice to just be like, you know what? I'm going to walk in and get a press pass. And now they're like legitimate. Yeah. So just a quick shout out to them boys. Yeah. It's impressive.
So I reached out to Zach and he came over and I was like, dude, if Portnoy somehow ends up in the Hammerlot and you're there, because I wasn't sure I was going to the game or not, and you're wearing the shirt and get like a picture with him, or like at least get in front of him so he can see it. Like,
yeah.
I'll give you free shirts for like forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, shit you not, I ended up going to the game, but I wasn't down there early, and as soon as I got down there, my phone was blowing up. He's like, yo, I got it. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, wait till you see this. So literally, like you could pull up the video if you want on my Instagram, or you could view it later, but he literally went up and this dude carries a microphone everywhere. Like he's like
Zach.
Zach. He's always prepared for like an interview. And he walks up to Portnoy, he's got the shirt on, and he's like, hey, he's like, what do you think? And Portnoy, you can see like his whole fucking...
Dude, it's so real.
His whole mode switch, he's having fun.
He doesn't know what to do.
I'm definitely going to watch that.
Yeah, and then he was like, dude, it was funny. You just got to watch it. And Portnoy was like, you think this is all fun and games, but you're going to get a C and D. Like, you're probably going to get a lawsuit. and he's laughing, Zach, but I'm not laughing because it's my shirt.
Yeah.
My company.
Dude, I was fucking cracking up. Yeah, you fucking C and D.
So, I mean, there's some funny lines in there, but just the fact that he got that shirt in front of Portnoy, and like, you know, it was crazy. It was great content. Like, it would be great content now. It would be better content now. It still was back then, but you know, we're a little bit bigger now.
Yeah.
Instagram following.
Where I could see
that was super cool, and to add to that, we printed like. Wasn't a ton, like maybe 100 shirts or something like that. Dude, we sold out of those shirts in 20 minutes. We didn't even.
How awesome is that?
We didn't even get outside of one lot.
How awesome is that?
And that was just like another tap-in moment. I'm like, God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Right. As soon as you just let it rip.
Yeah. So that was fun. We got some good content out of that. I wrote up. I do some writing as well.
I know.
So like I wrote up. We haven't done a blog.
Doesn't surprise me.
We haven't done a blog in a minute. It's like I said, it's tough to tap in.
I got a whole formula. We can talk. Yeah. We're definitely going to talk again because this has been awesome. I've really like loved every second of it.
No, that was a good piece. So I did a blog on it.
I could see like what I would love to do with this kind of Rej and the Zeus sort of thing, and I started a quick blog, Trying Times, thetryingtimes.com, but like. Ideally, what I would love to do is similar to what Barstool is doing in the content space, but also The Ringer. I don't know if you're familiar with The Ringer, Bill Simmons. He was an old NBA head from like ESPN, and he jumped ship on ESPN and basically he originally started with his own website, got plucked, worked for ESPN, then went back. Yeah. And now he runs The Ringer. And what he did was he took sports and he expanded it into more content. So now they're a podcast machine, they're a blog machine. Yeah. So like that's where I could really see it like kind of crossing over if I could ever be of any assistance, where you start to basically have different pods, because your brand is like slowly developing more and more
100%.
Locally. Yeah. No. And like that's just something that I was thinking about that could be really cool as far as like whatever I can do to help 100%. You out.
Like I was just telling you before we came on here, like I'm like super tied up, like wearing so many hats now. Like I told you, I have a full-time job, so like it's tough to like continually tap into like create content, sell. You know what I mean? Get out and network. Like,
they call it bandwidth.
Like communicate.
I was in a meeting one time with this really corporate pitch with Mike. And this woman was like, I just don't know if you guys are going to have the bandwidth. And I was like thinking in my head, I was thinking like, fucking internet? Like, I literally was like, this is like growth, you know? Like, I literally was just like, what the fuck was she talking about? Bandwidth. And Mike's like, well, bandwidth, like, you know, do we have enough people to kind of like get everything done and still, and I'm like, but that's a little, I've
fucking internet.
Yeah, dude. I've kind of always like,
I'm the same. I mean, I'm an artifact when it comes to that.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
I'll admit it, though. Like,
yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I'm trying to learn and continually do like more stuff, but I mean, tap into what you're good at.
Yeah. Right.
Robbie's good at that.
And put trust in those who are good at different things.
Learning. Yeah, exactly.
That's the team.
Well, exactly.
A fucking football team doesn't have a quarterback playing every position.
For sure. Like, don't get me wrong. You can learn. Like, I can learn to do it. That's just going to take time away from other things that like I'm good at or that I want to do. So find someone else who can do it. But to answer your question, yeah, dude, like 100%. We're gonna need somebody to just create more content, somebody to write blogs. I mean, videography. Like, I mean, I'm definitely going to be in touch with you guys in regards to that. That's like one of the only things we haven't really gotten into yet. Like our content, like I've done everything to build it to what it is now and keep building. Like we have a super good organic, which was the whole goal.
Yeah, Buffalo. It's authentic.
Buffalo is small and simple.
It's hot right now.
Exactly.
And fucking Josh Allen fucking surprised everybody, put us on the map.
Well, 100%. Yeah. And so like he he just became a shareholder.
I feel like he helped Thanksgiving. That Thanksgiving game helped Buffalo tremendously.
100%, yeah.
Like, he embodies the attitude of Buffalo, I think. I don't know about you.
No, absolutely, dude. That's Josh Allen.
Were you saying...
We've had like 3 or 4 Josh Allen shirts. We have a Josh Allen beanie. Yeah. So like it's only a matter of time. We did some Eichel stuff. I get called Eichel all the time. Every time, like literally once a week.
People think you're Eichel.
Well, I think I'm Eichel.
Yeah.
People have thought I was Ryan O'Reilly.
I'm better. I'm much smaller than Eichel. But
I can see that though.
Seriously, like it's crazy. We were out in Ellicottville a couple weekends ago, and like somebody's like,
Just want to make sure.
Somebody's like, I can see these kids like pointing and shit, and I'm like, what's going on, guys?
What's up, bro?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I had a couple beers, so I'm like, yo, what's going on, guys?
What's up, buddy?
I'm like trying to get ahead of the steam, and they're like, "Are you Eichel, bro?" And I'm like, "No."
Yes.
But I do get that.
If you get drunk enough, do you say yes?
Dude, I have actually a funny Eichel story.
Let's hear it.
No, I got yeah. So I ended up at Mother's at like 2 a.m.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
Always good. Oh, fuck yeah.
That's your neck of the woods.
Oh, fuck
So
yeah.
I forget what we did. I think we had a golf tournament or something. The Sabres played a home and away in Toronto, so they had just gotten back from playing in Toronto, and we stroll into Mother's, like me and 2 buddies, and like 6, 7, 8 Sabres are sitting at a table. Like they probably just got into town, showered, and they want to get a bite and some.
Oh, because Mother's is
Exactly.
it's the only place you can get a good bite
So
late.
like, literally, as soon as I get in there, and at this time, I had come up with like the squad goals, like gold reflective long sleeve.
Ooh, that white joint?
Yeah.
Was that the white and gold joint?
Yeah.
That shit was hot,
And I had
bro.
a golden season hat for Eichel with the gold.
The blue with the gold
It's
9.
just dope.
That shit was hot.
And so I literally went up to Eichel. Like I just went right up to the table, like, and was like, "Hey, what's up, man? Like, this is my company." Like I showed him Instagram. I showed him the stuff that we've made. I've tagged him previously a bunch of times. I'm like, if you could just follow or whatever, that'd be cool. Like I would love to send you some gear. Like super nice. Like that was it. That was the gist of it. So I went back, and then the fucking waitress comes over like 20 minutes later, and she's like, "Hey, so are you Eric?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Jack wants to buy you a shot or something like that." And I'm like, "Oh, word." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, let's go." So I go over there, and they got a round of shots, and he's like, I wish I knew this a little bit better, but
Well, it was probably a little hazy. If you're at Mother's at 2 a.m., you're in the zone, baby.
But the gist of it was something like he wanted me to do jumping jacks in front of like the clan, like almost trying to play me.
Ooh,
Like-
homie, don't play that.
Yeah, and they're all super like most of them are super young. You know, you got like middle staff.
It's that hockey,
Like,
hockey boys, dude. They don't grow up.
They're like little kids. Like
I'll still fuck up a hockey boy.
Straight up, like all of them looking at me like I got fucking foreheads.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm just shooting the shit to you boys. Like,
Yeah.
like you ain't nobody.
Who the fuck do you think you
know what I
are?
mean? Like,
Yeah, you're at Mother's, the same place I am, bro.
straight up. So like, I'm like, no, he's like trying to play me. So I was like, I was trying to like be cool about it without like getting aggressive. I'm not trying to like fight Sabres and like, you know, have a story. And shit.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it was funny. But come, you know, fast forward to now, like I've actually DM'd Eichel on a handful of occasions, like back and forth, like laughing at shit. Like we've talked about a bunch of random stuff, and I actually ended up sending him the long sleeve and the hat through one of my work contacts. So like he has like my gear. I don't know if he's ever worn it. Like it would be dope to like get a picture of him or something.
Yeah, right. That'd be sweet.
That's pretty cool, though, dude. That's the fearlessness, though. That shit, people don't forget. That's the thing. Like, I might have done a lot of fucking weird things in my day, but like, if I were to run into someone now, I don't have regrets because it's like kind of like that fearless truth. Like, if you don't have it, you don't understand it, but maybe it's an Irish thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's like a fearless thing that like, I'm not afraid of celebrities. Like my mom got us, she got me, my brother, and my pops, back when Bron was in, Cleveland, the first role before he left.
Die hard.
We're huge Celtics fans. My dad was a Celtics fan in this, like the Red Auerbach, like old era. Then my brother reignited in the 80s. And then I was around for the 08 like run. So like my mom got us tickets in the Ritz-Carlton because she found out that they were staying there in Cleveland. So like, sure as shit, they're in the lobby, and like we've gotten to like meet them. But like 2 other times, my mom did it again, and she's like, "Oh, well, if they're there, I'm going." So she goes the next time we go. It was like the whole family went that time, and she rode the elevator down with KG and Paul Pierce and I think Rondo. And she had her big ticket T-shirt because she's like a bigger lady. But somebody got her a big, maybe she bought it for herself. But it's this big ticket, big ticket KG. Yeah. And she got that shirt on. We all got our jerseys on. And they were just cool as fuck to her. Like they were just like salt of the earth just because like you said, they're just regular ass people. KG, yeah. And my mom was just like, they said like, come on. They held the elevator for her. She was like, hey, wait. Like a little girl, my mom, she was like 62 at the time. And like KG held the elevator and was just like, come on, big mama. And then she rode down. Ray Allen wasn't there because motherfucker was already shooting at the gym like 3 hours before.
Right. That's funny.
But that's that fearlessness that I feel you have, that I feel is like the sky's the limit for you, bro.
Yeah, man, it's kind of crazy. Like a lot of the things that I mapped out, like initially, like I still have them in my phone noted right now. Like literally, I could go back and show you, like Duff's collab, Spot Coffee collab,
right?
Just picking prominent businesses in Buffalo. We have our shirts now in 3 different Duff's locations.
Duff's is a good one too.
We rebranded that Eat Wings, Drink Beer, Be Happy shirt. That's our shirt. So that's in 3 different Duff's. We did merch. We did coffee mugs and a bunch of shirts and some other stuff for Spot Coffee on Delaware and Kenmore. I have another note in there like get into Tops. Like right now, nothing's mapped out yet, but I literally just sent over all of our paperwork to be a vendor for Tops. Like,
that's cool.
Literally, we might like
to get gear to have their because they always have the corniest.
First of all, I'm using this Buffalo Proud campaign.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know much about that. I've seen that retro logo.
Yeah.
Is that like a Buffalo thing, like a multi?
Talking Proud is from the 80s. Yeah. So Talking Proud Buffalo was a campaign that was started by Alden Schutte, and like anybody, like our parents know about that. Like a lot of people know about that, and they know a lot about it because like the logo, like anything that's like retro Buffalo is popular,
right?
Even for people our age.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. Like the Schuttes wanted to bring that campaign back almost 40 years later this year. Like, and dude, that's a crazy story. That was also a Brett Michael plug. Brett Michael is friends with the owner of Homage. Homage does apparel. They're based out of Columbus, Ohio. They're a multi-million-dollar company, t-shirt apparel company. They make like super like nostalgic, like Celtics, old school like NBA shirts, like Bulls stuff, like
90s joints, 80s joints.
Yeah. Homage,
remember those big head ones?
Exactly.
There'd be like cartoon caricatures.
They got everything. So the Schuttes must have done work with them previously or whatever. And basically the owner, Ryan of Homage, rang us and was like, hey, I have a cool opportunity for you guys. I was referred to you by Brett Michael. Brett Michaels gave us some fucking...
Yeah, he's making moves.
Alley-oops.
Yeah.
To get us going, man.
That's just cool of him.
Straight up, dude.
Once again, the creativity, though, like he can clearly see that he can't get every job, even though if he's good enough to 100%. Get everyone, he can't get everyone. Yeah. So might as well hook it up to people that like give them the opportunity.
We're in the the merch space, even though we're young in it. So fast forward to now. I mean, we've been doing the campaign launched I think mid-June. So we're doing it's 4 different shirts with Buffalo Proud instead of Talking Proud. It's Buffalo Proud, and a good portion of all of the t-shirt sales are going to the Buffalo Zoo.
Awesome.
Oh, that's killer.
Yeah, absolutely.
This guy is the Zoo.
I'm big animal
our pod is named Rej and the Zoo because his nickname is the Zoo, and he's big on animals.
Yeah.
So that's
killer.
It was funny how we landed on the zoo, but we're glad that we have like the Buffalo Zoo. I think is like the second oldest zoo in the United States.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's crazy. But so we've been doing that. So that really kind of led us into this fulfillment channel, which is something else that we offer is merch fulfillment. So now we've kind of said, okay, well, we're already, printing and packaging and shipping all of our own stuff. let's collab with some local Buffalo brands who don't have the means to do that, or if they're using like a Shopify or Teespring, make it worthwhile for them, pull them off that, and we'll do business together, and we'll create together. So
That's awesome.
That's probably right now what I'm most excited about.
Yeah.
So like we're with Buffalo Fanatics.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah, they got like 70,000 followers or something like that. They're the creators of the Buffalo versus Everybody T-shirt.
Yeah.
Like, which became popular like either last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And like the Bills players were wearing it. Like, but they sold a bunch of those shirts. So now we're printing those shirts.
Did you have somebody most recently, did you have somebody wearing the Bills Backers Miami joint?
Yeah, so that was a super cool collab.
Who was that? Somebody knows.
Dion Dawkins.
Yeah, dude, Snowman. Is he Snowman? He's Snowman, isn't he?
Yeah.
Dude.
You already snow.
Yeah.
Shout out Dion Dawkins.
Yeah, dude. That's cool, man.
Big man on campus.
Yeah, he was doing a video from home and he was rocking the new Bills Backers Miami, which I think the Bills Backers Miami concept is fucking sick.
Dude, so that shirt, and shout out John Holler. He's my contact for that. He's the one who runs the Bills Backers Miami. He reached out and he already had the artwork for that shirt done. He's already printed them previously, but Robbie switched up the colors on it a little bit.
Dude, to the Miami Vice joints? Yeah.
And, we were like, yo, Mafia Vice.
Dude.
And so we switched up the colors, and that was like our first little viral moment as far as selling T-shirts. We sold literally like 200 shirts in a weekend.
Jesus.
Like, we weren't even prepared for that. We had to order more shirts. We didn't have any blanks.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
That's awesome.
That was epic. And now, we're doing the tank in a different colorway.
Yeah. The red, white, and blue joint. Yeah.
So we're doing those, but yeah, shout out to John. That's cool. And then that's leading us now into tapping into some other Bills backers across the country. We're about to release a Cleveland Bills backer shirt.
That's cool.
Probably this weekend.
That's I love it, dude. Yeah. I love it.
And
that's fucking sick.
We're doing like a Bills backers concert shirt. Like, you get a concert shirt and it's got all the concert dates on the back. Be like the prominent Bills backers with like their addresses and shit.
That's killer.
Yeah.
Bro, that would be fucking sick. We were talking on the last pod about the fucking drip that Stephon Diggs just appeared to camp in. How do you walk in like just dripping like that? I didn't even know about that Rude brand. Did you ever hear of that brand? RHUDE? I never saw it. He had like a kind of like a trucker cap kind of like the 80s joint.
I seen it. Yeah, it's dope.
The snapback, yeah. And I looked that up, and that's some like new kind of like streetwear brand out on the West Coast. Oh, I know, right.
Crazy.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And I don't know how any of them ever catch. They got to have just people wear them, though.
Influencers, so totally.
Like me, like I just saw Stephon Diggs had it. But it's a nice hat, too.
No, for sure. Yeah, you got to have a good product.
Right.
By all means, like our product. That's what we prided ourselves on to begin with.
I actually found
we don't fuck with like 100% cotton Gildan T-shirts for your brand. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna throw any names out there, but that's what fucking some local merch guys have.
Yeah, I've seen that,
bro. Like, come on, man. Like,
I had
nobody wants to wear that shit. Like, okay, you got it because you were at that restaurant. But you're never gonna wear it again because it's a fucking.
And you wash it once. You wash it once. You wash it once, and it starts to come up like this, and then like it's all like one arm's a little bit like chunky.
We just use really good shirts.
We were
We
talking.
use a lot of next level Bella canvas.
That's killer because we were talking about getting some merch.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to get some Buffalo Rej and the Zoo type merch.
Yeah.
Being media, dude.
Yeah.
Does he have any merch?
No, he's talked about getting some hats done, and he's talked about getting like he had shirts like mad long ago, but like
Mike, you trying to brand or what?
yeah, we'll have to set it up.
That fucking neon green going.
Yeah, we'll have to set it up. We definitely
one with the neon green. Let's go.
dude, he had it first. Technically, he had that bean green. I call it the bean green.
10-year anniversary.
He hit 14 or 15 years, actually. 15 years in, like, just a couple months ago. He's been doing it. So, like, it's kind of like you find a niche, and his niche was always video, and he, like, it's kind of like, it kind of, like, breaks my heart because, like, like, I don't know if I can stay with him forever. Like, that's what sucks is because you get that guy that gives you your break or your opportunity.
Yeah.
But like he knows and I know, like I don't know though, because the more we push each other, it's kind of like something happens in the right direction, or if you get the right client, or you're moving in the right direction. But that's why the freedom to create nowadays with this shit, with technology, podcasts, I mean, we were able to set this shit up very affordably. And it takes, but you have to be able to like think the way you think, Matt thinks, long creatively. And be able to see the long-term picture. And then I think it also comes down to just like, what are you, like, who are you helping, and like, how are you helping? Sure. Like, a t-shirt to somebody might not, like you said, when you first started t-shirts, you might have thought like, I'm not going to only make money doing t-shirts, but
there's definitely
the value of that design, of that, like that Stevie Johnson joint with the like, why so serious? I copped that just to keep it, because that's something, a part of my life that I never want to forget is the Stevie Johnson era. And like, there's some of that stuff like collector's item, but like, you know, it just goes to show you that like the value of something goes beyond just like when you print that logo, when you print that saying, when you print that whatever, that changes it, and that like means it is something else, and then it goes into somebody else's hands. I don't know if you ever watched Marie Kondo, that little Chinese Asian lady. No. She does like a hoarders kind of show, and she helps people like get rid of stuff, but she says you're supposed to like say like thank you and throw it out, because everything has meaning. So like if that lady thinks everything has meaning, that's what hoarders like, hold on to everything. But I'm a little bit of a hoarder when it comes to weird shit like old t-shirts. Oh, like 100%. That shit carries meaning. Maddie Moore, he wears the same like penny still. Like he wears a Salukis like AAU penny like everywhere he goes still, just because it feels good. It's weird.
No, dude, a lot of people like it,
And this hat, dude, I got Bills. I didn't get seasons last year, but they did the stadium pass joint where you were allowed to get 2 seats, and they would shuffle them around if the seat got bought. But I wore this hat until it got cold, because they had to get winter joint. Write that down. We gotta get a winter joint for when because after like October in Buffalo, the games, you got to bring it like when it comes to like snow control, rain control. But anyways, I went to like the first several games, and I got a lot of compliments on it. Like people dug it, and they were like. And then you saw people that weren't from Buffalo, and they looked at it like, what? And that made it almost even better, because it was like, fuck off, you don't get it.
Because it's, sadly, for better, I don't know. Sadly, it's almost reminiscent of kind of like a Trump hat, you know what I mean? So it's in that, just in terms
sadly. Sadly.
In terms of the style and things like that.
I could understand
I don't know if that's where you're going with that, but like, not only is it something like that Buffalonians would get, but even if you didn't get it, it's unique.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I mean. The green and white.
It's almost kind of trendy. It's a dad cap. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of different.
It was my first dad cap. Yeah. I was anti-dad cap. This was my first.
I've been rocking dad caps for a minute, but
I've got a couple.
I've been a dad for a minute.
I have a couple now, and this was the first dad cap I ever bought. Yeah. I don't know. I feel good about this. Is there anything else that you wanted to kind of get down, or did you cover everything?
No, I want to touch on Stevie though.
Oh, that's right. We can't forget about that.
So you talked about the Why So Serious shirt, which obviously is like an iconic moment. So I want to flash back to, I think it was 2012, is right when I moved back from Tampa. I've always followed Stevie closely.
Stevie's the sickest.
Because he's from Fairfield, California.
That's wow. I didn't know that you were from the same place.
From the exact same place. Like,
get the fuck out of here.
If I would have stayed in California, I would have went to the same high school that he went to. He went to Rodgers.
He played some quarterback, I saw, actually, in high school. I saw a little bit. He posted something. I never knew.
He might, I don't know.
He might have just played a little bit. Somebody might have got hurt or something.
Though, he was I think a better basketball player than he was a football player.
Well, that's how he ran those routes, dude.
Exactly.
Just cooked.
Exactly.
He cooked Revis.
Dude,
he straight up cooked Revis. He actually kind of like Revis was never the same. I feel you did have some good back. You did have some good back and forth with Revis on that.
But no, so 2012. Like I said, I followed Stevie. Actually, a friend of mine who went to Rodriguez when Stevie was drafted. Texted me. It's like, I don't know if you know Stevie, but he went to Rodriguez and he just got drafted by the Bills. So immediately from that day on, I'm like, Stevie's my boy, no matter what, just because of the Fairfield Connect, hometown connect. Like, so I followed him obviously, and then like his cousin is a rapper. He used to go by your boy. His name is Rich Rock, and now I've listened to him for the last 10, 15 years. Nobody knows who he is, like, especially around here. Like, I've always been super different in regards to, like, my style.
Oh, you have. I'll hand that to you.
The way I talk, but it's just because
it's authentic,
I'm a product
though.
of the Bay Area.
I always found you to be, like, I never thought you were faking it. I'll give you that.
No, yeah, I mean,
you weren't faking it.
Because I'm from the Bay. Like, I listen to different music, so, like, I've always followed these guys, especially since I knew, like, he became a Bill. So 2012, I think he was just getting rolling as, like, one of our best wide receivers.
Yeah.
And I was following him on Twitter, and him and your boy Rich Rocca were playing basketball in Stevie's complex, where he lives in Orchard Park, and they tweeted out a picture of, like, the basketball court, and it was just like the basketball court itself, and it said, "Come get this work." I still remember it. It was Rocca sent it out on his end. It said, "Come get this work," and then it was like, if you know like where the court is or something like that. It was almost kind of like a mystery thing.
Yeah.
So I literally went on Google and started looking up courts all over Buffalo, like Buffalo basketball courts, and I was looking at, like, the paint schemes and everything, bro, straight up. And I found one in Orchard Park that looked exactly like the picture on his Twitter, and I'm like, Stevie's got to live in Orchard Park. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And sure enough, I tweeted back, "Is it this court?" And he's like, "Yeah, come get this work, yo."
You rolled up?
I rolled up.
Who'd you bring?
Myself.
You didn't bring a partner?
No,
you just rolled up.
No.
That's fearless, bro. That's fucking dope, dude. That takes some balls. Were you sweating? Were you like, I gotta do this?
No, I wasn't nervous at all.
Not at all. You were just like, I gotta get over there.
It's my people, but they just don't know it yet.
Right, right.
I was nervous for them to think, like,
because you're there and they would have never known.
There's no way. So I literally rolled up, and there was one other white kid there, and then just them two. So it was just three people. And I rolled, like, you can imagine how random that is, but, you know, they're super cool. They're super cool.
Yeah.
Dudes. And they're just playing. I'm like, all right, let's go too. He's like, I came up. I'm the guy who hit you up on Twitter. He's like, all right, let's go. So literally, it was like me and Stevie guarding each other, and Rocca and the other kid guarding each other. And I got some buckets on Stevie, but he was on.
He wasn't ready for it.
No, he was actually on injured reserve for a groin, and he's playing basketball.
Oh my god,
that's hilarious.
It was crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's fucking sick.
But they did beat us, and Rocky hit the game winner. And so yeah, we took a pic. I took a picture with Steve.
Now it was getting competitive though. Like it was a legit game. It wasn't no bullshit.
Absolutely.
This was for real.
No, for real.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's
2-on-2,
dope.
and they beat us played one game that was over. And I took a picture with Stevie. I still got it, and I say that because fast forward to this year, and the Bills are doing good. We're having a great season. We got a lot of buzz. We have Buffalo Go now as this up and coming brand, and I reached out to Stevie when he came to town for the home opener. Stevie came to town for the home opener. I reached out through Instagram, and I gave him and Rich Rocca one of these Chippewa shirts. And they were like, all right, cool. So I went up. We didn't get a chance to actually link at the game, but that was like the first little inkling. I still don't think...
Was that was at when he came up for the home opener?
Yeah, exactly.
And he had that cutoff on?
Yep.
Bro, I sent you the cutoff that I wore to the Pats game years prior that he liked on Facebook.
Yeah.
That, like, again, just like that kind of, like, fearlessness, I always was like, dude, like, and it's funny that you now have a connection with him, that I know if I ever were to just kick it with him, I'd be able to talk football with him, basketball with him, like, 100%. Where, like, he's clearly the same kind of person.
Yeah, 100%.
And I had, like, just, like, history for me, I was at when we went 4-0 with Fitzy, we beat the Pats at home. I was up in the 300s, and I had cut off a Joker. It was a shitty T-shirt that my brother brought back from somewhere that was a cool design. It was just a white Joker, like two-tone black and white contrast, but it was a shitty T-shirt. So I fucking cut the neck, I cut the sleeves off and made it into a tank, and I fucking wrote "Why So Serious" on the back, and I just did a red 13 with fucking paint because it was like the night before. So I'm like, it's gonna be hot. I don't want to wear a jersey. Yeah. So I rolled up. And I had, like, gotten a couple pictures. I bought a hat at the game, a Bills, like, snap, and it was, like, vintage. And I shared it just on Facebook. And he, at that point, just, like, through Facebook, it said, like, Stevie Johnson liked this. And for me, that was, like, he saw it. that's all I cared about. Like, he needed to know that he was respected here. That's all I cared about.
Dude, and I feel like people in Buffalo gravitated towards him because he's got a super different, weird, wavy, hyphy energy.
Literally.
You know what I mean?
Literally.
And he was just himself. But he also knew that would attract a following. But he still had to put the game behind it, which he did.
Obviously. He did.
You know what I mean?
He did.
So that's literally what got him to make his mark. You know what I mean? I think that's what got him his first big payday.
I think I watched him actually also. I saw EJ beat Cam Newton on a last second to Stevie. I was actually,
I was at the game.
My 21st birthday was the game that Stevie dropped the Steelers post corner, and I was in the fucking end zone. It was my 21st birthday. I was in the end zone, and because I'm a former quarterback, I read it because I had the end zone view. I said, yo, Stevie, corner, post corner, I'm slapping my brother. We're fucked up. He's like, place goes nuts because I called it because I played quarterback. I'm like, yo, he got him, and the ball's in the air. I'm going nuts. I'm going absolutely nuts. My brother's like, he dropped it. I'm like, no. Honestly, I didn't even care. I was like, fuck it. I don't care. Everyone was bitching on the way out. I'm like, fuck you guys. He's the fucking man. Yeah. But, dude, I felt so bad for homie on that one. That was because
I followed him big time. That shit, I think that shit still bothers me.
I'm sure it does. Yeah. I'm sure it does. I know how that's that SPTSD, that sports PTSD.
Yeah.
I was just talking about, I was at a Little League baseball game. My cousin, I was telling last pod, and this pitcher on the opposing team, they were championship, one team from Southern Tier up here in the city. Top of the fifth, they only played 6, I think. And my cousin's team was down. Somebody on my cousin's team, liner off the pitcher's shin, okay? Pitcher's broke emotionally. This is like 10-year-old kid. I'm like, get this kid out of the fucking game. He's hurt. Get him out. But the coach leaves him in, the opposing pitcher. They rattle off like 5 fucking hits. I'm like, this poor son of a bitch kid, he's going to blame this loss on himself for the rest of his fucking life, dude. That's that SPTSD.
Yeah, no,
it's sad to say, but he'll never forget that when he took one off the shin and then lost a fucking 4-2 lead in the championship. He's only 10. He's never going to forget.
No, so he came to the home opener. I gave him some shirts. We were still very young brand, but that was an initial plug. And then fast forward later in the season, we're doing some work, and I hit him up for whatever reason. I just DM'd him on Instagram, and he must have already been sitting on recreating that Why So Serious shirt.
Yeah.
He was thinking about it on his end.
Right.
He had a picture of it and everything. So he it was just good timing, and he literally was like, all right, dude, let's just work. So literally, and we've done this with a lot of clients. I'm DMing someone in real time, and in the same time I'm texting Robbie, and Robbie's mocking it in real time. So
yeah.
I'm coming back with actual mocked images of T-shirts, artwork on them, and everything like that.
That's
Dude,
awesome.
I've closed so many deals like that. Stevie being one of them. He's like, "Oh my god, this is sick!" And I literally clipped a football that he signed because I wanted to be more personalized, almost like a you know what I mean, like a memorabilia type T-shirt piece.
Yeah.
So instead of just doing the Why So Serious, which we redrew that to make it look like it was, because there's not a real good clear picture of it. It's all shirts wrinkled and shit.
Yeah.
So we just
and he just hand wrote it.
Yeah, we hand drew it to make it look authentic. And then I took a picture of a football he signed and just recreated his SJ13. And then we actually I got this idea from Nipsey's clothing line, Marathon. We did hand sewn tags, Buffalo tags on the bottom. I don't know if you noticed that.
I did notice.
It's the only shirt we've ever done that for.
Interesting.
So it's like a Handle Biz Have Fun brand, which I'm now helping him build that brand.
Yeah.
It's just crazy how this is all coming about.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, dude, I could talk. We could talk about the Stevie come up, but yeah, fast forward to now. So still at that point, we're building our relationship. He knows now that I'm from Fairfield, so now there's more to this picture.
Unity.
Yeah, than just being somebody who's working with in Buffalo.
Yeah, you ain't just a Buffalo boy.
It's hard for you to tell, but you would fuck with somebody more if they were from Buffalo or Maryville naturally than if they were from Idaho.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Obviously.
We're from the same hometown, so
yeah.
then fast forward, I send him the pic of us when we played basketball together, and he's like,
"Get the fuck out of here."
That was you.
He said, "You got him. You came back around with it. You waited on it."
He's like, "That was you." He's like, "Oh, this is official. Let's go." So, dude,
that's awesome.
We talk every day now. Like, we're building a brand together. So he's always hashtagged. If you followed him, he's always hashtagged HBHF. Handle biz, have fun. It's been his motto, personal motto, for at least a decade. You know what I mean? And he's made small little runs at making like one-off shirts. He's super creative like that. He's already done his own merch. He's tied in with a bunch of other creative like Northern California brands. But I'm like, let's give Handle Biz Have Fun its full platform. Like, let's just do it.
Yeah.
So we're creating that. Like I'm running the Handle Biz Have Fun handle right now. We're just starting to post about it. We have like 4 designs that we're offering. Robbie built the website for it. And then he's still so tapped into obviously football. He's coaching at Rodriguez High School. He took the
That's
head
dope.
coach position to go back home.
That's
to teach
sick.
The kids. We're doing the merch for Rodriguez.
Nice.
Like, it's like a family relationship.
That's fucking awesome.
And the big thing right now though is I got to plug. We're creating this football/basketball academy. His 2 favorite sports. His cousin played. She played D1 for UNLV, point guard. Obviously, Stevie's respected for doing what he did in football. So we're running these exposure academies where he's teaching a lot of his basketball mentality moves to wide receivers to
that's fucking awesome.
Better instruction and reps and something different against DB. So it's strictly a wide receiver DB academy. And yeah, we're running the first camp September 4th through the 6th.
That's cool.
Fucking awesome, dude.
So I might go back out to Fairfield for the reunion.
Yo, you gotta, dude. That's fucking sick, dude. Yeah. I actually, when Tyrod was here, I started chefing shit in my brain of like, because Tyrod, he's just a fucking amazing person in the same right. Like, just another kind of like salt to the earth leader that I think didn't get the love that he deserved. And like when he was here, I had started thinking about something like, man, if I could ever get in a room with this guy, like the Tyrod Taylor Center for Excellence, because he was just such a like good leader and such a good dude that like I could just see like, dude, like down the line, like a center for excellence for like, youth that like you could come here to get your schoolwork done. You could fucking come here and learn the game, like whatever, like, but surrounding faith and family and like that unity and sports. I feel like sports, there's nothing like sports. And particularly for me, I'm also a football, basketball guy. I didn't even play baseball. So like those 2 sports to me, the team mentality, the leadership, like I won't ever learn a thing that I didn't already learn on the football field. Sure. Like sports are so big. It's just so, it's the stage. Like that's why doing this stuff, it feels there's no audience here, but like you could already feel the energy of like why I feel like this podcast style, this kind of like putting things on the record. Like I'm thinking about like sports in the way of like if I start making calls on the record and I'm publishing it, well then nobody can fucking say I didn't say it. Sure. That's kind of what we've started to get cooking here is like
podcasts are dope. I'd love to get into podcasts.
You'd be awesome.
I had to fuck with this, but yeah.
Yeah. And like we've like basically taken this one to just get started and we want to sort of start to have people around Buffalo on. I just reached out to that guy, Carl's Closet. I found him just like I was already following him on Instagram, but I must have followed it a long time ago. And I was just like, dude, the amount of jerseys that this guy has, I just want to ask him and get like the story just alone because like
there's a couple. Yeah, there's a few of them. Obviously, My Cousin Vintage has.
Yeah, My Cousin Vintage has got some cool shit too. I love that they did that model. I don't know if you're familiar with Slobby Robbie. Slobby Robbie is a show. It's called Robbie's World. I can't remember what streaming platform it's on, but he's like a homie that just Slobby Robbie, dude. Look it up. I think you'd really be into him. He buys and sells old gear. So like. Anything from jerseys to concert tees to kicks to like Fila shit to like anything you could imagine that you don't think is like worth that there's somebody out there and he's got buyers everywhere. So like if he comes across like a dope jersey, he holds that and he'll hold that for somebody he knows, not sell it. It's cool. He's like, he takes some getting used to. He's like this big fat, like, he's like always decked though with the gear. And he's always got like, he'll buy old gold and like old jewelry and shit, like Louis Vuitton shit. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I think you'd really like it.
Fuck with it. Check it out.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I've had an awesome time. Did you want to ask anything else, Matt?
No, dude.
I kind of feel bad because obviously we got some old energy here that we're.
No, that's the whole point of it.
He knew
to
coming
the
in.
interview. We did our golf talk.
Yeah.
And you branded yourself pretty good, I think. And I definitely want to have you back on because I think we got a ton of shit to talk about that we just can't get to all of it tonight.
No, yeah. Again, dude, like that's what I mean. We're all over the place, but like there's so much.
I think you need to tell these tales as they're coming.
There's so much that I feel like even just today that we've left out. But yeah, just in terms of like Buffalo, like where we started, kind of where we're going now, some of the relationships that we've built. It's been so fun. And now, like I said, being all in, it's almost like, dude, what the fuck were you doing the last 10 years? Like, why would you, I don't.
When you could have been doing this.
No, I know, but I never want to look back and like, I don't live a regretful life by any means.
You wouldn't be who you were if you didn't walk all those fucking pathways.
Like I have a bunch of golf connects right now that are popping off, like Encore Golf, Buffalo Golf and Social. I click with these guys because I lived that life for 5 years. You know what I'm saying?
Chameleon life.
Exactly.
The Irish chameleon.
We know a bunch of the same people. Like, it's crazy. Like, the shit that I've done that I haven't really liked doing allowed me to just pull in and gather a bunch of different, like, work-life balances, like, different people that I wouldn't necessarily talk to. Like, yeah, on top of my personality already, I just feel like, yeah, dude, like, I guess you could say fearless. I already know that we're going to become one of the biggest companies in Buffalo in the next 10 years.
Yeah, I can see it too, especially with the progress you're making already.
Yeah.
So where can people see your stuff? Buffalogo on Instagram. Same thing with the website, buffalogo.com.
Everything is, as far as a handle, is at Buffalogo.
Okay.
Website is www.buff-a-logo.com.
Okay.
Dashes are kind of annoying, but
we'll get some links in the description and everything for you.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah, consistency.
Yeah, but everything is pretty consistent across the board. Just trying to stay as active and put out as much content as we can.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what about with the upcoming football season? We're not too sure what's going to happen. Do you guys have a plan set if, you're not allowed to go to any of the games or anything?
That does suck. I mean, we were definitely planning on, because we got a taste of going and selling a shit ton of shirts.
That festy sale.
Yeah. In terms of going and being able to just collect some cash on some creative tees, that's
working capital.
Yeah, it's gonna suck to lose that opportunity, but like I said, we're tapping into the Bills backers, we're tapping into Buffalo Fanatics and some other homegrown Buffalo sports accounts, and he knows, you both know that there's a lot of them, and a lot of them are reaching out. So we're just gonna do as much collaborating through social media and creating T-shirts based on these people's brands, our brands, and then just doing some, hopefully capture some sales that way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Killer, dude.
Yeah.
What about Blue Jays playing in
Dude,
what is it, Salence Field? Are you guys going to try to do anything there?
We've had so many requests to do that.
That's awesome.
To be honest, though, like, neither Rob or I want to get on board with it, not because it's like a Canadian thing or anything, but the season itself is kind of... Really, I don't know.
It's not looking good so far.
It's interesting to see how COVID affects all of these, professional sports seasons. But I don't really want to attach to anything that's like COVID tarnished. Like I don't really want to talk about COVID. Like COVID's like non-existent to me personally.
Yeah.
And we've been able to scale our business during a pandemic, so you know what I mean.
Our business, we were actually remotely. Like we learned a lot of just working remote. Because of being forced to, we learned so much. Like we were forced to look ourselves in the mirror, and like it really, I think, brought all four of our like minds. Because it's like primarily we've always had like kind of in and out, and we're gonna have an intern again like this semester. But like the main four, like head coach, quarterback, kind of like wide receiver, running back. It's like we basically roll on like strategy. Like I'm kind of like pulling the punches and like moving things around, and then I work with the design team to basically put together that perfect ad. And like that's become an art form, and it's changed since I started doing it. Like we started doing a lot of static, and I use a lot of audience targeting. So like that's something I'd like to talk to you about. Like I definitely feel like I could help you when it comes down to it, whenever the time comes. But like some of the things you can do with targeting people is sick. Like
I've done a few like targeted ads. I've dabbled in Facebook and Instagram ads. I mean, they're kind of hit or miss. It's all for me. It's just building towards like growing the following and the brand, even if it's just like a subliminal thing.
Oh yeah, that's why
across my ad and they don't do anything, like they don't even swipe or buy or anything.
You don't pay.
I don't give a fuck.
That's my philosophy, bro. I learned that in college.
Now, especially if they're local,
it's in their brain, bro. That's some things that I can't get.
So you can't put a value on that. You can't put a value on a lot of the stuff, to be honest with you.
I'm a big believer in the subliminal. Like if they see it, it's in their matrix. And then it's gonna come back around. And I think you're doing an awesome job, dude. Yeah. And like props to you. I think you're doing an awesome job for the city because you're representing the city. Like you're representing them in a way that's it's blue collar. You're a transplant to the city, but you still are this city. I've
been in Buffalo more than half my life now.
Right.
Straight out.
But I think like that authenticity, and then I mean that transparency with admitting and being truthful to your partner, your team, and then that carries weight. Like that authenticity. Who knows where that you not doing those jumping jacks that night is going to get you. Because if you did those jumping jacks, who knows what fucking matrix that would have taken you down. But you didn't fucking do it because you ain't no fucking bitch. And that's why you get the Seneca 1 job. That's why Stevie Johnson and you are guarding each other, sweating in Orchard Park. Because you're just a fucking fearless Irish motherfucker, dude.
I guess, bro.
We connected big time on a St. Patty's Day on Allen, I remember. That was a good day. Oh, yeah. That was a great day.
Big bottle of Tullamore Dew.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Real big bottle.
Oh, man, I used to fucking sip that shit. I don't miss it, but, like, I don't have any regrets.
Should miss it, man.
That's all part of the experience, in my opinion.
No, 100%, yeah.
I don't know. What do you think, Matt? We good?
That was a good one.
I'm fucking excited. That was our longest
one yet, too.
I'm excited, dude. This was our first interview, so...
Yeah, I feel like... You guys didn't get to any of the stuff that you wanted to cover, though.
Yeah.
No, this was more about you. We wanted to brand your stuff.
We're going to be doing shit on and on and on. Like, we want to keep this going, and the more we can do, like, people are going to get fucking sick of just hearing us talk about shit. So, like, that's why it was once again,
somebody else on to do all the talking, for sure.
Exactly. Like, we know people aren't going to listen to just us. Because we're pretty fucking good. We're getting better, and we're going to keep getting better. And I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I'm kind of studying. Because ideally, I mean, if it means fucking Ryan Russillo sees that I made a call before Bill Simmons and Ryan Russillo do on their pod, and they see that, I got a job for the Ringer or some shit like that. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, that's kind of the same thing. If you build it, they will come.
Just doing. Just the doing.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just fucking doing this right now. You have no idea what could come from this.
Exactly, dude. That's the beauty of it.
Just got to keep doing it.
Creating.
Get as much out there.
Stay creating. So I'm going to put a wrap on this. It was an awesome episode with Erik Westfield from Buffalo Go. We'll see you around.
Take care.